Hello, hello, one and all. Brandon Carey here is back, and I figured since we did just play Uncharted Drake's Fortune, it would only be right if we went back to some of Naughty Dog's other games that we kind of skipped before and play some of those instead. And by that, I mean, of course, the Jak and Daxter games. We had played the Precursor Legacy, and at the time, I was a little hesitant on playing Jak II because of how long that game is compared to the original Jak and Daxter. I'm still a little hesitant, I will admit, but I think I'm confident enough to give it a shot. So let's play some Jak II. This is a very fascinating game in the context of the era it was developed in. Very fascinating. And I will try to kind of give background where I can. Because forgive me, I'm not as well informed on this as I probably could or should be. But I do know what it was like to be in that era of history. We'll see how the voices are. I probably should have some audio balancing earlier, and that's my apologies, my fault, but as you recall, the first Jak game took place in like this kind of fantasy land. And as you can see now, yes, yeah, we're doing it, Xenochrist. As you can see now, the proposed setting for Jak II is a little bit different. Just a little bit from the original Jak game. And we'll talk about why that may have been in a second. Because the tonal shift, you could get whiplash for how this series shifted from tone between Jak 1 and 2. Yeah, we're edgy. We're going to be edgy, boys.
For every age, there is a time.
Thank you, subtitles.
The rocks faced
Thank you,
such a fire
subtitles.
before they were the strength beneath our feet. The plants braved
I'll move that here so you can read the subtitle a bit better.
before their roots could give us life. As a sage of considerable years, I have known only one such great ordeal.
Ah, Samos the Sage.
Champion for all time. Today's the big day, Jak. I hope you are prepared.
Remember this thing, this shiny thing that we got 100% and found out and didn't actually see? It was this. This was the shiny thing. That was the shiny thing. It was a ring.
Easy for you to say. We did all the heavy lifting.
Daxter, don't touch anything. Though the precursors vanished long ago, the artifacts they left behind can still do great harm.
Or great good, if you figure out how to use them.
I've had some experience with such things. I know you can make it work.
I never actually saw Stargate.
Jak still got the mojo.
Interesting. It appears to be reading out some preset.
But from what I understand, this is very Stargate. Look at that darkness. No parents.
Has been opened.
What are those things?
So this is how it happened. You cannot hide from me, boy.
Do something, Jak!
Something.
Or that? How about this one? Everybody press all the buttons.
What was that thing?
Hang on,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. This is a lot of weird stuff happening all at once. We just started the game and we're already like doing something so different. So new.
Find yourself, Jak.
I'm trying to avoid spoiling things, but some of the stuff that Samos says is really fucking weird unless you know the plot twist of this game. Unless you know the plot twist, what Samos has said, like, in all of his dialogue in that scene is really fucking weird.
Okay. I swear, that's the last time I ever, ever touch any stupid precursor crap!
There he is.
He said crap. That was a big deal back then, by the
From
way.
animal.
That was a big
Forget the
deal
rat.
back then, by the way, that he said
Wants
crap.
We've been waiting for
He's
you.
naughty. He's being a naughty, naughty dog.
Don't worry, Jack. I'll save you before you know it.
Dramatic cut. Dramatic cut. Dramatic cut. It's going this way. It's going this way. I'll figure it out eventually where to point. Dramatic cut.
Dark eco injection cycle complete. Bio readings nominal and unchanged.
Well, nothing. I was informed that this one might be different.
He is surprisingly resistant to your experiments, Baron Praxis. I fear the Dark Warrior program has failed.
You should at least be dead with all
Yeah, he's got a whole new
the
hairstyle and goatee, everything. He's a whole
Men of the
different
armies are
character.
pressing their attacks. Without a new weapon, my men cannot hold them off forever.
I will not be remembered as the man who lost this city to those vile creatures. Move forward with the final plan.
Man, Clancy Brown doing some work with this voice, by the way.
As you wish. I'll be back later.
That is, by the way, Clancy Brown, who's voicing Baron
Ding
Praxis.
ding, third floor. Body chains, roach food, torture devices. Hey, buddy, you seen any heroes around here? Whoa, what'd they do to you? Jack, it's me.
Yeah, the Baron is voiced by
That's a
the
fine
Crab,
fellow.
Mr.
I've been
Krabs
crawling
from
around in this
SpongeBob.
place, risking my tail, literally, to save you. I've been looking for you for 2 years.
That's not a joke.
Say something, just this once.
I'm gonna kill Praxis.
Right now, we gotta get you out of here.
He talks and now he's big ol' edgy. He's edgy boy. Edgy boy.
You can do it. Jack, easy
He's a
now.
big ol' meanie
Easy, buddy.
face. Meanie face
It's
edgy
your
boy.
old pal Daxter, remember?
Daxter?
What the heck was that? Sheesh! Remind me not to piss you off. Come on, tall, dark, and gruesome.
Yeah, he got all
Get at it.
clawed and evil like.
I brought you some new threads. Put them on.
Tall, dark, and gruesome. Yeah. Xenochrist in the chat kind of already hinted at this, but and we'll see more as we go on. GTA 3 got very, very popular between Jak 1 and Jak 2. And you will see the influence of GTA in a lot of what we see and do here.
Do you remember how to jump?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I like this look a lot too. This looks really good. This is a really good look for Jack.
Orbs are worth a lot now. We might find a few hidden around, or get some doing difficult tasks. We'll be able to buy stuff with them. Please tell me you remember how to roll.
This is a tutorial. Last tutorial. Give me a second to do
Alert.
platform
Prison
tutorials.
escape in progress.
Yeah, it's a very nice. It's a really nice outfit. Kind of go with the darker, edgier looking. What the other big thing is that in Jak and Dax Recurse Legacy, Jack was a silent protagonist. He didn't actually have a voice, and now, as you can tell, he very, very much does. There's supposed to be like a those guys are coming here.
Ooh, that's a high ledge. Try jumping once, then jump again while in the
He
air.
tells
and
me
reach that
after I do it.
way. There are lots of Crimson Guard crates lying around for the taking. Break that crate.
Yeah, this
You are
is
in
a good
restricted
look.
Sector. This sector is on high alert.
Well, no one can
Jack,
double jump
do
in
your,
real life.
Stuff.
A whole
If you duck before you
the
jump,
concept's
you'll go
absurd.
higher. You'll need a high jump to reach the top of this ledge, Jack.
To use the air as like a way to jump, like you need something to jump off of, and the air is not that. I thought there was an orb hidden here.
We're beginning our sweep.
I And do you remember there were 5 orbs in the introduction? And we are not... And we are, by the way, we are not doing a completionist run in this game because I cannot be fucking bothered. I can't be bothered to do a completionist run of Jak II. Not again. I've done that before in my childhood. I don't need to do that again.
Ja! The crate had a health pack inside. Pick it up.
As you can
You'll wanna
see,
keep
we're
healthy,
collecting
Jak,
a dark.
or,
There's
we'll
Dark
do the
Eco
fight.
for our evil boy meter.
We're moving in.
I 100% completed this game when it was on the PS2. Did I platinum it when it came out to PS3? No. No, I did not. Will I? No. No, I will not.
Surrender yourself.
Yeah, it's the evil boy meter. See, look, there's our evil points, our evil boy points. We got a little bit of evil boy. Not a lot, though. So they don't drop any evil boy points for us to pick up.
You can get a longer jump by rolling into it.
We have movement on level 1.
Jak does have like a very like the animation for his punch that feels very good. It's very snappy. That stretch you see when you punch that does feel really good. And of course the double jump and spin to stay in the air for a little while longer.
There he is. Open fire.
Yeah, I also do love the. I am
Prisoner sighted.
playing around when I shouldn't.
Prisoner on level 2.
That's okay.
If you jump and dive, you'll crash down to the ground hard enough to break lots of things. Breaking stuff's fun, right?
Yeah, the stretch and squish is a classic animation technique, and Naughty Dog, you are right, Press really to understand that. Like, you see you see Daxter on Jack's shoulder, like, stretching and snapping back in
Races this time.
during that punch. It really does sell the motion. Also, seeing the way, like, if you look at when I spin, the way Daxter moves around, again, sells that motion. And the inertia of it. Oh, there's more than one, too. Like, you saw one in which, like, Dax got stuck on Jack's face for a second there.
There is no escape.
There is no escape, says the robotic voice. Well, we got all the orbs, I think, in this room. So we're free to just... oh, here's another one. I thought there were only 5 in here. There's probably health in these crates. Oh, here's the 7. I don't remember there being more than 5 in this intro. My memory is definitely not what it used to be with this game. We're out now.
We're free, Jak! Thanks to me. Nice to breathe some fresh air, huh? We'll get that Baron Praxis guy, all right.
Look at this beautiful slum. Beautiful slum.
Hello, strangers. My name is Kor. May I help you?
You look like a reasonably smart man. I want information. Where the hell am I?
He's our hero, guys!
Sorry, he's new to the whole conversation thing.
Well, my angry young
He's our
friend,
hero.
You are a guest of His Majesty, Baron Praxis, the ruler of glorious Haven City.
I was just a guest in the good Baron's
I like the number of
Inside a
quotes
cell or
being
inside
used
the
in this
city,
conversation.
Walls surround us both. We are all his prisoners. Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'd move on if I were you.
By order of His Eminence, the Grand Protector of Haven City, Baron Praxis, everyone in this section is hereby under arrest for suspicion of harboring underground fugitives. Surrender and die.
Excuse me, sir. Don't you mean
Surrender and
or
die.
Not in this city. Protect us from these guards, and I'll introduce you to someone who can help you.
They don't have guns yet because we don't. Yeah, Eminence is a mechanic in Commander where, like, if you... Commander's in the command zone of the battlefield to get a trigger or something, It's a weird little thing. Also, look, we're Evil Boy now. Evil Boy Jack. He's powerful. He does the Evil Boy thing.
That was cool. Do it again.
Something's happening to me. Something he did. I can't control it.
Very impressive.
You okay, Jack?
What you just did was very brave. This child is important.
This kid? He looks kind of scruffy.
You are in a restricted zone. Move along.
Thank you for your help, but I must get this boy to safety.
Hey!
Horned characters. Ah, yes.
Underground group
I
waging
understand,
war against
Darabien.
Baron Praxis. Its leader, the Shadow, could use fighters like you. Go to the
I forgot that
slums, find a
evil
dead
Jack
end
or Dark
alley
Jack
of the
has
city.
horns on his head.
Ask for Torn. He can help you.
You can tell I've not played this game on PS4. Because I'm getting trophies now for the PS4 version.
The city map is displayed in the lower right. Follow the icons on the map to reach important destinations.
Seal off the area.
Welcome to the city transportation system. You can hover between 2 zones, low and high. Try switching hover zones.
Yes. As you can see,
Thank you for using the vehicle.
As you can see, GTA had an influence on how Jack would play in this game. With this, I want open. Like, this sandbox is probably a better accurate description because it's not really open world. Like there's a map that it's actually fairly tight. The map we're seeing, it's not very big. It just feels big because of how dense it is. And we'll unlock portions of it as we progress through the game. Let's see if there's a map. There's got to be a map screen. Yes. Now you can see like we have a whole map to uncover. This was the big change in Jak and Daxter, is we went from the like rigidly defined platforming levels to this kind of big sandbox. This is the map that we will kind of learn and advance through as we go through the entire game. But right now we only have access to this small region on the corner. And the other thing you'll probably notice is that instead of levels, we've got like this mission structure. Yes, compared to Ratchet and Clank, Jak maintained its platforming even into this era, but you'll see that like GTA had a huge influence on the direction this game went, both in terms of the characters and the writing, and in just the way these games play. Important note, I can run over as many people as I fucking want, as long as I don't run over any guards. Then there's a problem. I can't use a vehicle in this section because this is the story section. This is where story happens. So we're gonna meet our first contact with the underground.
We're looking for a guy named Torn. Core sent us. Are you Torn?
Maybe this guy's a new, like you used to be.
New faces make me nervous. Word is you're out to join the fight for the city. You know, picking the wrong side could be unhealthy.
We want to see the Shadow.
Not likely. If you want to join something, why don't you and your pet go join the circus? Unless you've got the fur for a really tough task. Steal the Baron's banner from the top of the ruined tower and bring it back to me. Then, maybe we'll talk.
See, he's got that edge. He's got that edge you can tell because he has a rasp to his voice that all the edgy people back in the early 2000s did. The kind that makes you think, man, that guy smoked his entire carton of cigarettes in one day. That's Torn. That's who Torn is. And as you can see, Jak also, like, his voice is definitely not what you would expect if you played the first game, but very much in line with what this game is looking for tone-wise. In fact, at the time, I remember thinking, man, this does not even feel like Jak and Daxter. I remember being really, really awestruck by this. I ran over a couple civilians in that Xeno Christ. That's you're gonna have to get used to that because I'm having a lot in this LP. But this is definitely like if you came off of the first game the way I and many, many people back in that era did, this is a fucking whiplash. Oh, I need to get more Evil Boy points. So they reset when I used my Evil Boy in that scripted cutscene. But yeah, there was a huge like, oh, this is Jak and Daxter? What the fuck happened? Vibes going on at the time. Because this is like so different compared to what we had. And this game does a really... I think that's part of the reason why this game comes out of the gate so strong. Because it more or less has to. Because of how light tonally that first game was. Where the first game felt very Saturday morning cartoon. In how it played and felt. Because this game is going for such a different aesthetic, part of why we're doing all of this in the start is kind of to shock the first Jak and Daxter outing. To relieve you of those expectations. Early on where they need to. This is the game telling you this is not the Jak and Daxter you remember. We are doing something totally different for this game. And if you're not on board for it, this is your chance to get off. And most people were fine. Most people are going to be fine with that. But that is part of what they're doing here. Just letting you know right from the jump. We are doing something completely different. We are not doing the same thing we did back in the first game. This is not Crash Bandicoot. This is a whole new thing. This is not Crash Bandersnatch. Or Clash Banuka. Wait, I forgot how fast Evil Boy powers up. We're already mostly at Evil Boy. Now we gotta do some platforming. And like JRBN, I said in the chat earlier, this game, like this series, stuck with the platforming aspect much more closely than Ratchet did. Where Ratchet, that's a funny reference to the first game. This is a good animation. This is a really good animation, actually. I like this a lot.
Yeah, I guess you guys are in.
But yeah, like you'll see that whereas Ratchet kind of pivoted to being more of a third-person shooter with some platforming elements, Jak really does stick to the platform formula very closely. Like there will be some shooting to add in this game, but in general, it does stick with the platforming more than the shooting. The shooting is more of like a flavor.
I think we need to go back to the city, Jak.
Shut up, Daxter. And another thing you'll see is Naughty Dog. Because one of the big selling points of the first Jak and Daxter game was that there were no loading screens.
Welcome back.
There were no loading screens. It was a full world. But you can see here, they do have the key that's that selling point in Jak II. They do still keep to that, but instead, like, everyone knows these airlocks are loading screens. Everyone knows this. No one is being surprised by that when I say that. Yeah, Mass Effect elevators, that's what those airlocks are. They are Mass Effect elevators. They are just loading screens by a different name. Because that was a big selling point of the PS2 era compared to the PS1 era, was we can do this big world without loading. And you can't. Oh yeah. There is combat in this game, Carlin, but it's not heavy. It's not heavy. They don't add a lot of it. It is mostly a platformer at its core, and it sticks to that. But going back to what I was saying, you can't do a game like this without loading. So what people just discovered is that rather than make a straight-up loading screen, you would put the player in a place where they couldn't see anything. And during that time they can't see anything, that's when you can load assets into the game.
Woo! Being a big hero sure makes you thirsty.
Yeah, that's nasty.
The Baron turned off all water to the slums. He's willing to sacrifice innocent lives just to destroy the underground. I shouldn't be surprised. I've seen his evil before while serving in the Crimson Guard. That's why I quit.
You were a Crimson Guard? Well, that explains your charming sense of humor.
My friend in the Guard tells me the valve to turn the water back on is located outside the city, at the pumping station.
Outside the city? What about the security walls?
What about the
There's a lot of world building in this cutscene right now.
Out there, peeps be getting deep sixed.
Find the large drain pipe in the north wall. It'll take you outside the city to the pumping station. Get to the main valve and open it. If you survive, the slums will be indebted to you. If not, maybe we'll have a touching moment of silence in your honor.
I'd like to give him a touching moment.
Dax wants to jerk him off. That's what I heard. Too true, Krellin. Something I am noticing now that I'm like thinking about it with my current day brain is we talked during the Uncharted Let's Play about Amy Hennig and her penchant for using very few words in a cutscene to say a lot. And in that very, very small cutscene, which is ostensibly to set up our next objective,
Nothing so far.
that was 2 minutes in which a lot of very important information was dropped on us without us really realizing it. About the Crimson Guard, about Torn's backstory, about the Metalheads, the city, the Baron. A lot of information was in that cutscene that if you're not paying attention, you could have breezed past, but Andy Hank does a pretty good job of cramming all of that into one scene. Oh, loading screen.
Exiting city.
And you can tell even this early, before the Uncharted series kind of got off the ground, like that was still happening. These skull gems are pretty important. So we're going to be collecting a lot of them for the course of the game. Along with our Evil Boy points. You're at full Evil Boy! What do you mean by fully commit to this cyberpunk dystopia? Because I'm on board, I just don't know what you mean by that. Because this game, it does commit hard to its world. Unless you like think about Jak X and oh, you mean like from the start, like just like you start in Haven City and kind of like the trilogy is in this place from the jump. Oh, I can see that. That'd be an interesting new interpretation of the franchise, or like maybe a new franchise at that point. You're making a new franchise. I guess the question is, why wouldn't you just make a new IP as opposed to doing Jak again? When essentially just rewriting the game from the ground up, you might as well just do a whole new IP at that point. Oh, I am doing terrible. Thankfully, we're still in low stakes mode. This game does not get hard yet. But this game does get hard. I am curious how I'll do with some of the later points of this game, because Jak II in particular is pretty famous for being a tough game at the time. Like, there are some spikes in difficulty that this game goes through. Pretty infamous for that, actually. You will notice that despite the fact that I am full Evil Boy, I am not using Evil Boy. That is because once you commit to going Evil Boy, you don't get to stop being Evil Boy until the meter is empty. Like, you burn the entire meter in one use, which makes it kind of hard to commit to using that resource. Because sometimes you really don't want to use full Evil Boy for just one fight. Yeah, they did fix that in 3. That was one of the biggest things they changed in 3 that really improved the game, where you have to commit the full meter, you could go halvesies. That was a huge improvement that definitely like made it easier to use Evil Boy. And you will see, like, I will probably not use this too much in the campaign because I've trained myself not to. I might try to just to do it. We'll see. But it's gonna be hard to break that habit. And it's kind of funny because like part of that whole introduction was, yeah, dynamic music in this game is really great. We'll talk about that probably when I start running out of things to talk about.
The Valve. Allow me.
Ah, Valve. Love that Steam. I saw a precursor orb. I saw it. I love the animation in this game. Whoever made this animation knew a lot about comedic timing. Not to mention in the squish and stretch.
Don't say it. Don't even chuckle. Next time, You turn the valve.
Poor Daxter. We'll get the shinies later. Because this is not the last time I'll be in this pumping station.